I got 4 questions in here, and the first question is, Master, what to do if suddenly we feel itchy at the back during meditation? Get a scraper, like a long wooden stick. On the one hand, then you have a few claws, carved with a few claws. A small one, you can get them from Chinatown. Let's scratch it. Just put it in and scratch it. Is it that simple? So if you are lack of a scratcher, do you call that a scratcher?
Yes.
If you are lack of a scratcher, then you know what to do. Then you contemplate, it is not me that is itching. It is my skin. Nothing to do with me. It's my apartment, and on the apartment, the wall of the apartment is a little bit of something coming off, or there's a bumblebee on the apartment wall. So it's not me that is itchy, it's my skin. It's one of my, of the 36 materials that make up of my body. And we call it the skin. And the skin is the traveling bag of our existence, of my existence. So if a bumblebee gets into my traveling bag, I don't want to kill the bumblebee. I just let the bumblebee stay there. So it's not you that is itchy. Why do you have to feel that it is you that is itchy? See if that works. If that don't really work, just get a scratcher. It's easy to solve the problem. About $1.50. Yeah. It's bamboo, make of bamboo. Okay, next. What is the significance of the black roofs with the brown wraps? What you mean is you have a black room and then you have wrap it with a brown wrap. If you wear a black robe, that usually signifies that you have taken the 3 refuges. You have taken like a uniform in a scout, a Boy Scout or Girl Scout. That you've been given a hat or uniform. It's a symbol of you have taken the 3 refuges. That means you already have registered for all the courses to go to university, the University of Enlightenment. So usually people wear black robe. And then the next step after wearing the black robe is to take precepts, the 5 precepts. Abstaining from killing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from cursing, double-tonguing, flattery, etc., etc. So you have taken the precepts, you have vowed to follow these precepts, and you never kill. You never kill for food. You never commit sexual misconduct, for example. You never commit stealing. So if you have vowed that, if you have taken those vows, then you wear the brown wrap, the sash. There's a sash, it symbolizes that you have taken those precepts. And some people may argue, do I need to take those precepts? Do I need to restrict myself? Abstaining from killing, I don't want to restrict myself in doing that. I like go fishing. And sometimes if some of my friends come to call me to go hunting, I like to hunt deers. But if you are committing killing, you already have spread the causes for lack of longevity, for bad health. And you will suffer for anything that you have done, you have said, you have thought about. There's consequence to it. So actually, we're not talking about precepts that should be taken. You're talking about the black robes and brown sash. So I've answered your question already. So that's sufficient. Would you review the ram that reincarnation has? So there's 6 rams of reincarnations. 3 vicious rams and 3 non-vicious realms. So if a person dies, he carry himself to reincarnation, not his money, not his assets, but his karma, whatever he has done. He carried this invisible energy with him onto the next life. How is the next life going to be? It depends on what kind of karmic energy he has created for himself in this life. And you ask yourself sometimes, if you want this, you sit quietly at home and say, you ask yourself, what am I going to be in my next life? Then you continue to ask yourself, what did I do in this life? I have been committing sexual misconduct many, many times. I have stolen many, many times. I have committed crime, I have done that, I've done this. Then you know then where you're going. So there are 6 rams, 3 vicious and 3 non-vicious. What are the 6 vicious ones? The ghost ram, the animal ram, and the hell ram. Victims of hell, they must have done something really, really vicious when they were alive. Then they may go down to the hell ram. And if you haven't done that much, but you still have committed vicious deeds, it depends on the level of vicious deeds that you have committed. Becoming victims of hell really is the lowest stratum. And then in the second level, ghosts, and then another level, animals. So the animal ram is usually higher than the ghost ram and the hell ram. Sometimes in the animal ram, you could be a protected pets of family. They even give you a graveyard to enjoy after you die, and they treat you like a child. So it depends on your karma. To be in the ghost ram is really sorrowful and sad, because you're roaming about. You're roaming about. You cannot go into another life until you have served your karma of being a ghost. You may also suffer from starvation. They're hungry ghosts. That means you're always wanting to eat. You're always hungry, but you see food as the food appears, but when you want to put the food in your mouth, it's become something that you cannot digest. It may become fire. It may become blood. It's something that you cannot digest because of the karma. So that's the reason why we chant mantra to turn the food into digestible material for the hungry ghost. We have that kind of ceremonies to turn, by using chanting of mantra, to turn food into edible material for the hungry ghosts. Turning food, turning water into drinkable, turning food into edible, using the power of the mantra, and using the power of your compassion. And sometimes a mindful mantra can turn food into edible products to the hungry ghost. And there are sutras written that way. And there are also ghosts wandering about in various places for centuries, still thinking about their families, yet they cannot meet them again, and they're always roaming about in loneliness. So those are the 3 vicious rams. How about the 3 non-vicious rams? The gods ram, in other words, your sentient beings in heaven. They're all gods. They're all devas. They're all devas. They're not suffering from starvation. They enjoy, they have much higher enjoyment than the human ram. So those are the devas ram, or God's ram. And some people call guardian angels ram. The highest level in the non-vicious ram, or the benevolent ram. The second level is, of course, the Asuras ram. Happen in the other 5 rams, which means that there is Asuras in the animal ram, there's Asuras in the ghost ram, there's Asuras in the devas ram. But in some sutra, it's classified as one distinct class. Usually it is referred to as the heavenly Asuras. That means they enjoy the same prosperity and enjoyment as the devas, as the gods, but they always have a competitive and jealousy spirit. They're always jealous. They're always aggressive and competitive. And they're always at war with the devas, with the heavenly sentient beings. It is written in some sutras that they're always at war, and the devas, the heavenly sentient beings, always win in many, many occasions. But once in a while, they may lose. They'd be lost. If they lost, the universe that we live in will be in chaos. I don't know what I mean. For example, in the Second World War, it could be that the devas, the heavenly devas and the heavenly asuras were fighting, and the asuras win. When the asuras win, our world is in starvation, in earthquake, in tsunami, and you name them. Not good. But when it's still under the control of the heavenly devas, we are much better. It is written that way in some sutras. And then another strata, it's the humans realm. We are in the human realm. So even in the human realms, we are different. Some people are richer, some people have better health than others, some people are more handsome, some people are ugly, some people are clever, and some people are foolish. They have different encounterings in their life. Why? Because they have different karmas. We have common karma and individual karma. So it is common karma that pull us to the same realm. You are human and I'm human. That's common karma. But within the common karma, there's individual karma. You are richer than I. You're more clever than I. You live in a highly developed country, like the States or Canada. I'm in a primitive tribe. We don't even cook. We eat raw stuff. Or we always go hungry. We're still the human. Our human realm, individual karma, is all different. So those are the 6 realms, and those are just a brief outline, a brief summary of reincarnation. When you know something, know a concept, you have to know what that concept leads you, how that concept educates you to think and to lead your own way of life. It's not just, oh, reincarnation is like this, or it's like an essay that I read. Then after I read the essay, I put it away. It's not like that. You have to think, what lesson do I learn by knowing this? If I know reincarnation, so what should I do to lead my own life happily? How? Well, that takes another 1 to 2 hours. So we're not going to talk about that, but suffice it to say, that's reincarnation. Some people ask me why I don't eat meat, what I can tell them to help them to understand. Yeah, they ask all kinds of questions. I remember many, many years ago, more 30 years ago, I was still 30 or 35 years, I was still eating meat at that time. And later I decided that I should be vegetarian. And then I met my colleagues and fellow students. They always ask questions. Usually the first question they ask, I said, well, you become a vegetarian? I said, yes. The first question they ask is, why? That's the first question. Why do you have to become a vegetarian? It seems that you're suffering if you're a vegetarian. I don't know who is suffering. Eating the dead body of a corpse is enjoyment. Eating the dead body of a cow, of a pig, of a chicken is enjoyment. I don't think so. And people will say you're eating the dead body of a plant, a cabbage. What difference does it make? Well, I think it's better. It's easier to swallow. And also, if I eat a plant, a cabbage, it has millions of seeds that you can replant. If you eat that dog, that cow, it can't reproduce anymore. That one can. So I'm not eating I'm not eating the offspring of the cabbage, because there's millions of cabbage from the seeds. But if I eat this, it's gone. And also, if I kill that cow the cow has feelings. They have maternal love, fraternal love. They have mother, they have family members, and they love each other. And why do I have to make them departing each other? They have feelings. And then some people argue that, how do you know plants don't have feelings? And then I say, how do you know they have feelings? Tell me. Did a cabbage tell you, I have feeling, don't eat me? So you're contradicting yourself by asking the same question. What can I tell them to help them understand? Compassion. Well, I already have told you how to talk to them, right? I've been talking for the past 10 minutes on how about these things. You don't want to kill animals for food. You have compassion. You have mercifulness on living animals. You milk a cow, you drink milk from them, and when they get old, you slaughter them for food. And it's not fair because they've been working. They're not slacking off. They work every day to give you milk. Or the cow in some country, in Southeast Asia country, they plow, they fill the land, they plow, they farm for you. And the sheep give you the wool. They give the skin, they grow skin for you, for your clothes. And how come you, after they're useless, they're not useful anymore, you kill them? And what kind of compassion you have in holding your knife and stick it into the throat of a tame little goat? So how can I tell them to make them understand? So many things that you can tell them. Next time we should bring a recorder and then record it and then tell them accordingly. Yeah?
Just one thing, a kind of reflection. I have some friends who have pets and they love the pets.
Yeah?
And when they press me very much, I just tell them, can you imagine eating
your own
cat
pets?
or your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, this is different. Oh, how this is different?
Yeah, how come it's different?
Yeah.
You're not eating your own pet, but you're eating other animals. You're eating a cow. A cow could be a pet too to some families. And some farmers, they love the cow, which have been doing work for them so much that they don't want to kill them. They just want to keep them. And there are people like that. Yeah?
In India, they have sort of like old folks' homes for cows.
Oh, what?
Old folks' homes.
Oh, yeah, in India. Oh, good.
And they allow them to wander through the countryside, but when they get really old and frail, they take care of them really well and then allow them to live in dignity for the last few years of their life.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard for people to understand compassion for animals like that, and it reminds me of a joke about a farmer who he was riding on his tractor, and tractors are sometimes very tippy on unlevel ground. The tractor tipped over and
Yeah.
trapped the farmer underneath. He couldn't get out.
Yeah.
The pig saw this, and he came and he grabbed the man by the leg and he pulled him out.
The pig?
Caught him out.
Oh, yes. With his mouth.
Yes.
Yes.
So one day a stranger comes by and he sees the farmer and he sees this one-legged pig.
Yeah.
And he says to the farmer, how is it that this pig has one leg? And the farmer explains, well, that pig saved my life. I was trapped under the tractor and that pig saved me. Well, how come he has just one leg? Asks the stranger.
Yeah.
Farmer says, a pig that valuable, you don't eat them all at once.
So, yeah, it's cruel.
Yeah.
So bit by bit, the first the leg, the second the other leg. Yeah. So he's forgetful of what good deeds that the pig has done for him. Yeah.
Not much compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. What a story. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes?
I once met a cow. A friend of mine whose dad had a farm outside Calgary. We went to visit, and he told me, he just was showing me around, and there was a barn, just had one cow in. And apparently, he told me that before they slaughter the cow, they put them in the barn and feed them grain, and so that it gets fat.
Yeah.
And so the cow can't move.
Yeah.
So it's fatten them up, so the meat is tender.
Yeah.
So the cow had a name. I can't remember what the name was.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we came back, and months later, and we were having a steak for dinner. And then my friend said, "Oh, this is so and so's meat." I stopped eating right there and then.
Yeah. This is John's meat. So yeah, how can you tolerate eating meat like that? Yeah, so maybe everybody should be vegetarian now. What's the point of eating meat?
I remember as a boy being on my grandparents' farm, and one day they were slaughtering pigs.
Yeah.
And this one pig, he's tied up by the ankle.
Yeah.
And I'm a little boy, and I'm standing by him, and he looks at me with these blue eyes.
Yeah. The pig?
The pig.
Yeah.
And he knows something's not right. I think he was even starting to cry, you know.
Yeah.
But I could see, even as a little boy, I could see on that face, he was worried. He
Yeah.
knew something wasn't right. And he had the look of fear in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have feelings.
They have feelings.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched a documentary just one day last week, and it was a futuristic show on life's likely to be in the future. They talk about 2050 being 20 or 10 billion people in the world, and then the argument becomes how can you sustain that kind of population in the world. The argument that was put forward in this documentary was that eating meat, you could feed 10 billion people. You couldn't feed 10 billion people meat because of the amount of grain it takes to feed a cow, to butcher a cow, so some people can have meat. So everybody would be vegetarian. And they said they would do without dairy products as well. Anything that would be ice cream, milk, those sort of things, because of the amount of food that's necessary to feed the animal to produce it. So by good luck or good fortune, by 2050, out of necessity, if not out of morality, it appears that we may all be vegetarian.
Yeah, hopefully, because then, yeah, you need a lot of grains to keep a cow so that you could eat up the cow. The calories and the requirements to feed that cow it's not more than the kind of grains that you use to feed the cow. You have a question? Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, and I feel the same way when I think about cows and pigs and animals like that. But I find it's hard when I think about like oysters and clams.
Yeah.
And how do you come around?
They are also living things. They will be classified under the categories of animals. Clams, they have, I guess they have feelings too, because they cram up their shells when you attack them. And fish and oysters, they all have feelings, and we don't eat them. It's the same. Yeah. Yeah?
And well, so I'm aware that Dalai Lama eats meat now because of a physical health condition.
Mm.
And I understand that, and we've had that discussion over tea.
Yeah.
And I guess the answer for me would be to acknowledge that that animal gave its life so that you can become healthy or maintain your life.
They don't deliberately say, okay, I give up my life for you. I mean, they live, they just want to live. They won't say, well, on the other hand, you can say they sacrifice their bodies for us. That's what you think. But nobody wants to sacrifice their body for you. I mean, I don't think that's the way they think. They just want to survive like you and I. They want to survive. They don't want to die. They're seeking happiness like humans. By the way, yesterday there was a young guy who came to me and he said, Reverend, what is happiness? Well, I said, that's a very broad, general discussions on that. He said, how come I always don't feel happy? And I talked to him, I find that he doesn't have any self-worth. He don't think that he's worth a lot. Everything he do, he's an achiever. After he achieves something, then he's very interested in achieving something. This is what I want. And when he got up to that point, he has got it, and they say, it's not fun anymore. So he's not happy. So he's getting another target, and then when he achieves that, he's not happy. So what is happiness? I can't find happiness. Well, I say happiness, you have to work at it. First of all, you have to define your happiness, and you have to structure yourself and learn what you mean by it, how to achieve it. It doesn't come to you naturally. It's also how you perceive, the way how you perceive things. So by the way, what's happiness? You have any idea what happiness is all about? Open for discussion.
Contentment, peace of mind. Content with where you are now, with how things are now. This means not to discriminate. That makes me happy, that doesn't make me happy. I am happy in here. Happy and content, both feet on the ground. My practice of vegetarianism is partly to render compassion to animals. First and foremost, the idea of killing is not in my head. I am free from that. That's why vegetarianism is in my practice, is to release myself from the notion that I have the right to take something else's life.
So self-content and peace of mind, right? It's peace of mind.
Yeah.
He said, how come I don't have peace of mind all the time?
Discontent.
Yeah.
Discontent.
Discontent is running rampant without a manager. Desire and discontent. In his case, discontent. He's fulfilling his desires, but discontent is still operating. Discontent is still saying, but it's not enough. And then he's listening. He's listening, okay, it's not enough. Instead of saying, no, it's enough.
Discontent is your answer, yeah? You have something to say?
Well, you asked if anybody had an idea what it was, and something just came, was to have the freedom to give and receive love.
Yeah. To give and receive.
Love.
Oh, yeah, love, yeah. And then you have to define love, you know, what is love? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to make that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, so people say, what is love? You know, sometimes in the Buddhist teaching, love actually is not a good thing. It could be an attachment. So that has to be open for discussion too. Any more? Yeah, yeah.
I would think about, if you think of animals, what happens in your family, one of the members, you won't eat them.
If you think of animal as a family member, you won't eat it. But you can say, okay, I'm going to eat it, and I don't think it as a family member. Yeah. So that's okay. Right? Yeah, some people is very argumentative. You know, wow, well, it's easy. Then I don't think it as I think as an enjoyment. A steak, pork chop, you know, is always good. I don't think of it as a family member. It's somebody else's member. None of my business. So I'm eating it happily. So you can say it that way.